Basketball fans, welcome back. So Nico Harrison no longer wanted the Dallas Mavericks to revolve around Luka Doncic. So every single day it's leak after leak after leak. So Nico Harrison would have traded Luka Doncic in the summer if the Lakers deal did not pan out. So let's just talk about this. So the hatred, I don't know what Luka Doncic did to Nico Harrison for this man to just treat him like this, treating him like garbage. And in this video, I'm going to talk about this. So the Dallas Mavericks are still catching heat for the decision to swap Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis in this year's trade deadline. Only now we are starting to find out the real reason as to why Luka Doncic was traded by GM Nico Harrison, and the real reason as to why GM Nico Harrison did not want to see Luka Doncic in the Dallas Mavericks rotation. So this is crazy. So there's a inside report by Mark Stein. He came out and said this. So whispers via the league sources suggested that the Dallas Mavericks decision makers, most notable general manager Nico Harrison, no longer wanted Planet Mavericks to orbit around Luka Doncic and had grown determined to trade him by this summer at the latest. So this was crazy, and for somebody who has brought so much prestige to the organization, being treated like this is unacceptable. And we have seen so much backlash. Ticket prices have fallen by 40%. A lot of people are chanting "Fire Nico." We've seen Dallas Mavericks faithfuls protesting outside the American Airlines Center. So there's so much backlash. These people are receiving it, and they're acting so tone deaf, and they don't understand that Luka Doncic was the biggest draw and was the real reason as to why the Dallas Mavericks are where they are right now. So it's unfortunate that they don't see that. They feel like they are in authority and they are the ones who dictate. This is a superstar-driven league, and even if you look around the league, if you see whose planet Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards, whose planet Oklahoma City Thunder, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who was previously planet Mavericks, Luka Doncic, that was his team, but apparently the front office felt otherwise. So as a 25-year-old superstar and 5 times All-NBA player Luka Doncic, he was pretty much everything for the Dallas Mavericks. He was the core of the entire identity and the foundation in which the entire team was constructed. So Luka Doncic was the Dallas Mavericks, and the Dallas Mavericks was the Luka Doncic. He was the system. And for Nico Harrison to treat this guy as a bona fide role player scrub was something that he's dealing with. He's catching heat for it even this day. And I knew for a fact that more information will keep leaking on this matter. So while most teams will be happy to have Luka Doncic at the helm, the Mavericks were dissatisfied with his work ethic and conditioning, among other things. These are the excuses that they came up with at the time to justify this as a coping mechanism. It was just a way to justify and say, we don't want this guy because he doesn't play defense, his conditioning was not good, he drinks beer and smokes hookah. So those are the decisions and the reasons as to why they decided to get rid of this guy. As he got more and more comfortable in the NBA, Luka Doncic began to show more of his flaws as a leader and as a defender. So those are the things that the Dallas Mavericks front office, led by Nico Harrison, decided to pin on Luka Doncic to explain why he traded him away. So while Nico never officially put Luka on the trading block, he no longer considered him untradeable, and it allowed the Lakers to make the move of the decade. So Luka Doncic, the most disrespectful thing that was done to Luka Doncic was the fact that he was traded behind closed doors, and he didn't even know about the trade. And the way it was pulled off, it was so sneaky to the point where even puts question marks on the trading and superstars and who's untouchable and who's not. Because a lot of even people, I saw like Anthony Edwards, he came out and said, man, if you're going to trade me, just tell me at least. So yeah, it is what it is. So behind the scenes, Nico Harrison and Lakers GM Rob Pelinka negotiated for weeks leading up to the trade, and nobody had a clue. Through various private meetings, they eventually worked out on a deal that allowed the Mavericks to trade their 25-year-old star in exchange for 31-year-old injury-prone Anthony Davis. So according to Nico Harrison, Davis is a better fit for the team and their culture. He believes that defense wins championships and that Luka Doncic was unfit to lead the franchise to the next era of prosperity. Nico Harrison which is the next era of prosperity, because this is a man who took this team to the NBA Finals by when he was injured, and as much as his defensive woes were there. This is a man who averaged 35 points per game. He couldn't play two-way. He's not a Kawhi Leonard. He's not that guy. So he's somebody who will give you productivity on offense. So after a brutal finals loss in 2024, where Luka Doncic was exposed on the world stage, the Dallas Mavericks have finally seen enough to move number 77, and he was not going to waste any single time. So Nico Harrison is catching fire for this, and it begs the question, like, what does this guy even understand basketball? Because you don't trade away your system player like that. That's what you do to a role player, not a system player like that. So somebody who is the system. So fortunately, Luka Doncic landed with the Lakers, where he can live and thrive to the next decade. Had the Mavericks waited until the summer, however, a completely different team would have stepped in with an offer and acquired Luka Doncic. At the very least, we know that there are several teams who will have made compelling offers, even their entire team, because many GMs were given everything to acquire Luka Doncic. Whether it was this trade, was this trade deadline with the Lakers or in the upcoming offseason, Luka's days were in the Dallas were numbered, and somehow we never found out. And somewhat, I kind of disagree with it, because there are reports that are coming out that this trade was being discussed a month prior to the trade deadline. So so I can say this was something that was being discussed even in the off season. It's just that they didn't want to pull the trigger during mid-season because it would have caused a big clash, and it was crazy. And Luka Doncic was done dirty, because Luka Doncic was just coming off buying a house in Dallas worth $15 million, and he was preparing for that Supermax extension. So not only did GM Nico Harrison break the trust on Luka Doncic, but he cost Luka Doncic $160 million in contracts. So that's something that can even leave a bitter taste in people's mouths. And not only that, not only did Nico Harrison piss off Luka Doncic, Nico Harrison decided to piss off the whole entire Dallas Mavericks fan base. Everyone does not want, even some reports came out that it's very difficult for Nico Harrison to be able to even go and watch home games in peace because of the chants, because of the people even at some point they were sending death threats. A lot of things were happening at that time. So to be treated like this after being traded is the ultimate insult, and Luka is out to revenge. So he had his taste on revenge. He beat the Dallas Mavericks while defending the Lakers' home floor in the Crypto Arena, and he got his sweet revenge there. And the next one we're still waiting for is Luka Doncic when he goes back and returns to Dallas Mavericks. And the thing is, people in the Dallas Mavericks nation loved Luka Doncic. And it's not even, they understand that it was not Luka Doncic who wanted to get traded. The front office decided to trade him anyway, disregarding, like, this guy even said that he wanted to be a Mavs player for life. So, I mean, it's no loyalty. This is different from somebody just walking out. It's different from what Jimmy Butler did to the Miami Heat and disrespecting the whole Heat culture. This is a man who was just sleeping. He was just, doing his own thing, and he was just waiting for the time to get back. But, these guys decided to trade him away. So it is what it is. So the Dallas Mavericks fan base, front office, everyone who supports the Dallas Mavericks will now watch as Luka Doncic thrives with the Los Angeles Lakers. He's barely entering his prime, and right now as we speak, he's going to learn so much from LeBron James, and he's going to carry on the next era post LeBron James in the Lakers. So something that Anthony Davis could not do. And that's something that I know in history you're going to see that in history. So it is what it is. So do drop me your comments down in the comment section down below what you think about this. I mean, GM Nico Harrison really hated Luka Doncic. I mean, I don't know what he did, because as much as, even if he had like a poor finals performance, I saw that even LeBron James had a worse finals outing in 2007, but he was not treated like this, because superstars get treated differently. Like, even if you look at even NBA 2K and you try to like pull off a trade involving Luka Doncic, it will not happen. Put him on the trade machine, untradeable, because that's your star player. But in the NBA, it's just a shocker every time. So it is what it is. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Peace out.